Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm lying. I just set up the camera. Of course I know you're there. Every day in the month of May, or as I was calling it, Pokémon, I counted down and sketched my 31 favorite Pokemon to celebrate the release of the very first live-action Pokemon movie, Detective Pikachu. If you follow me on social media, you're already aware of this, but the month is over now, and I just wanted to make a video showing off and discussing each Pokemon. I'm not going to make you guys wait any longer, so let's get this started. My 31st favorite Pokemon, Mewtwo. On November 10th, 1999, it was my birthday. I turned 8, and what movie came out in theaters that day? Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. The next year, on the day my father told me he was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, he wanted to bring me somewhere special. Pokemon Live at Radio City Music Hall. Who saved the day? Mewtwo. These moments were really special to me, which is why Mewtwo made it on the list. My 30th favorite Pokemon, Pidgeot. Pidgeot has always been a reliable Pokemon. Pidgey is usually one of the first Pokemon you capture in a lot of the main series games, and it tends to be the one you teach the move Fly to if you end up leveling up your Pidgey to the point where it evolves and becomes a Pidgeot. Pidgeot will get you to where you need to be. I've always loved its simple yet effective design. My 29th favorite Pokemon, Golem. I have raised multiple Golems during my many different playthroughs of Pokemon. Ever since I saw the Bridge by Gang episode of the anime, I really loved its design. However, let me tell you a story. 18 years ago, I was playing Pokemon Silver and I had encountered a shiny Graveler, the Pokemon that evolves into Golem, on Mount Silver. I was so excited knowing how rare it was. A 1 in 8,192 chance to encounter a shiny alternate colored Pokemon. And it used self-destruct. People spend days, sometimes weeks straight, looking for shiny Pokemon, and immediately, boom, no more. Couldn't catch it. A year ago, it seems like the universe was making it up to me as I was casually walking around in Rock Tunnel playing Pokemon Silver on my 3DS and found myself a shiny Geodude, the Pokemon that evolves into Graveler. I didn't even realize it was different than the other Geodudes I was taking out, training my other Pokemon with, until my brain was like, Did you just hear that sound effect? Threw an Ultra Ball just in case. It's mine, and I love it. My 28th favorite Pokemon, Empoleon. Water is my favorite Pokemon type and element, so I am far more often going to pick a water Pokemon to start my journey in a game. Not always, however, as you'll find out later on in this countdown. But out of the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl starters, Piplup was an easy decision for me. I really loved how the little guy evolved into a water steel typed Emperor Penguin, and while they're not my favorite starter of all time, they still deserved a spot on this list. My 27th favorite Pokemon, Rocklin. I knew as soon as I saw this Pokemon's design that I wanted them on my team. They're a badass water spider. What more can I say? Sometimes the explanation will be as simple as that. My 26th favorite Pokemon, Pikachu. This one's for you, Ryan Reynolds. I know it's been done before, but here's my attempt at Pikapool, with Deadpool creeping behind wearing a cheap Pikachu costume you'd get at a Halloween store. Who doesn't like Pikachu? The first Pokemon VHS tape I owned was the one where Ash battled Lieutenant Surge with Pikachu. I watched that episode and the ones with the lighthouse and the SS Anne over and over again in the late 90s. You can't think about Pokemon without thinking of Pikachu. Pokemon got me through a lot of hell in my life, so I'm very thankful for our yellow bright red-cheeked friend. My 25th favorite Pokemon, Garchomp. Years back, my brother Adam gave me a perfectly trained Gibble. I held on to it and transferred it onto newer Pokemon games as they came out, but didn't get to fully train it until my recent playthrough of Pokemon Ultramoon. I absolutely love my vicious hammerhead land shark. Thanks, Adam. My 24th favorite Pokemon, Decidueye. During my playthrough of Moon, I picked Litten. When Ultramoon was set for pre-order, however, the pre-order said it would come with a randomized plush keychain of one of the starter Pokemon. I promised myself that whatever Pokemon keychain I got, that would be the one I'd pick. I got Rowlet, and the rest is history. My 23rd favorite Pokemon, Ninetales. I love Naruto. I named the Ninetales I used in my playthrough of Pokemon Blue on my 3DS Kurama, after the Ninetales Demon Fox. The explanation is as simple as that. My 22nd favorite Pokemon, Scizor. I've loved the design of Scizor ever since Pokemon Gold and Silver came out on the Game Boy Color. Red and Black is completely my aesthetic, as you'll realize more throughout the month. I never had a link cable though, so only recently in my playthrough of Ultramoon did I finally raise a Scizor. My 21st favorite Pokemon, Oranguru. Orangutans remind me of my childhood. They're incredibly comforting to me, and if you're going to give one psychic powers, I'm sold. My 20th favorite Pokemon, Suicune. There was once a time when the Nintendo New York store was called the Pokemon Center and exclusively sold Pokemon merchandise. During this time, I believe in November of 2001, my dad and I visited, and they were giving special gift Pokemon for Gold, Silver, and Crystal. The Pokemon I got, a shiny Suicune. Now, you couldn't transfer over Pokemon from the 2nd gen games into the 3rd gen at the time, and I missed out on the shiny Suicune event at GameStop. But my brother Isaac ended up giving me his. I think back on that moment with my dad often, so having that shiny Suicune is really important to me. My 19th favorite Pokemon, Throw. A red and black martial artist Pokemon, I was sold at first glance. Also a little shout out to Cobra Kai, my favorite show. My 18th favorite Pokemon, Tyrantrum. Back in grade school, I used to tell people my favorite Pokemon was a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's an orange tabby cat now, but the T-Rex is still awesome. My 17th favorite Pokemon, Salazzle. Salazzle is an independent lizard who don't need no man. Her design is incredibly badass, and she is easily my favorite Pokemon that's exclusively female. My 16th favorite Pokemon, Samurai. Who didn't love Oshawott when watching the Pokemon Black and White anime? His evolution is fantastic. I mean, he's got freaking swords in his pockets. What more do I have to say? My 15th favorite Pokemon, Rotom. I remember reading an issue of Nintendo Power Magazine. There was an interview with the band Fall Out Boy, and they were asked what their favorite Pokemon was. I don't remember who, it was probably Pete Wentz, but they said Rotom was awesome because he possesses electronics and you find them in a television. In that moment, I completely agreed. And still do. My 14th favorite Pokemon, Charizard. In my brother Adam's attempt to hatch a perfect shiny Charmander, he ended up getting an extra and gave it to me. I was never big on Charizard before due to being a biased Blastoise fan, but I love shiny Charizard. The red and black design is a major improvement in my personal opinion. But again, I have a red and black aesthetic. My 13th favorite Pokemon, Wishy Washy. You remember that scene in Finding Nemo with the school of fish that shaped themselves into the bigger fish? Yeah, that's this Pokemon, and I love it. My 12th favorite Pokemon, Calissa Bod. Are you really all that surprised? I love the Samurai Otter. Yeah, I'm gonna freaking love the Samurai Isopod. My 11th favorite Pokemon, Blaziken. You guys remember Game Boy Advance Video? The Game Boy cartridges that had episodes of TV shows on them? It was pretty much what we had as kids to watch portable videos because smartphones didn't exist. Well, I had the cartridge that had the Pokemon episodes with the fight between Ash's Charizard against another guy's Blaziken in the Pokemon League, and man, did that hype me up for Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. My 10th favorite Pokemon, Crocodile. Red and black aesthetic. My 9th favorite Pokemon, Dragonite. Okay, so back in elementary school, before anyone had the internet, I was sitting in the lunchroom with some friends. You might remember from when I was talking about Pikachu that the first Pokemon VHS tape I owned was the one with the lighthouse and the giant Dragonite. Now, one of my friends tried to convince me that it was a giant Yoshi from Super Mario. I don't even know if I knew what a Yoshi was at the time, but you can bet your ass that when I got a shiny green Dragonite in Pokemon White 2, that I named him Yoshi. My 8th favorite Pokemon, Muck and Alolan Muck. The first Pokemon episode I ever saw was the one where Ash catches a Muck. I was visiting my grandparents' home, and around the time everyone in my class was talking about Pokemon, but we didn't have cable in our house, and I also didn't have a Game Boy, so all I knew about Pokemon were the cards people brought to class. So I was sitting on my grandparents' couch, and I saw Pokemon was on, and demanded to watch it. Instantly I was mesmerized. So if you're wondering why a big old pile of sludge is this high on my list, that's why. I raised a regular Muck in Pokemon Blue and an Alolan Muck in Pokemon Moon. I love the big stinky mon. My 7th favorite Pokemon, Incineroar. You guys know that my favorite animal is a tabby cat, and I have a red and black aesthetic. I was so excited my first time seeing Litten. Unlike many others, I did love their final evolution, and it deserves the number 7 spot on my list. My 6th favorite Pokemon, Greninja. What can I say? I love ninjas and I love water starter Pokemon. I've raised so many Greninja at this point, it's not even funny. My brother Adam even gave me a shiny one. Its sleek black design makes me happy. Hey, Superior Man-Child, I've still got your Greninja and Blaziken. My 5th favorite Pokemon, Stoutland. Somehow when I was playing Pokemon White 2, I found a female shiny Lillipup. I was so happy I decided to name it. It looked a lot like the dog I had at the time, Kiba, but it was female, so I decided to name her to honor another important dog I had in my life, Sophie. I love this doggo. My 4th favorite Pokemon, Feraligatr. Pokemon Silver was the first Pokemon game I ever owned myself, and who was the first Pokemon I got to take on my journey? This guy. This drawing itself is a recreation of the 16th page from when I was illustrating my journeys playing Pokemon Soul Silver 5 years ago. You can still find those drawings on my blog if you're interested. My 3rd favorite Pokemon, Skorupi. Shiny Skorupi might as well be my mascot. I'm a Scorpio, and have a red and black scorpion tattoo on my left arm. I had to catch a shiny red Skorupi. Again, this drawing is another recreation of when I was illustrating my journeys playing Pokemon Soul Silver 5 years ago. My 2nd favorite Pokemon, Gengar. Gengar is an incredible Pokemon. If a Ghastly is available in a game, I will add it to my team instantly. The moves that Gengar can learn are so vast that I love teaching it attacks my opponents wouldn't expect. Also, Gengar helped me kiss a girl when I was 16. No further explanation needed. My number 1 favorite Pokemon, Blastoise. Predictable? Maybe. Blinded by nostalgia? Perhaps. But I love Blastoise. Time and time again, he was there for me behind the closed doors of my room. I'd often imagine gripping tightly to his badass water cannons as we surfed out to our next adventure. Thanks again to everyone who supported me throughout the month in my attempts to finish this personal project of mine. I hope you all enjoyed Pokemon as much as I did. Not gonna lie, I really love seeing all 31 drawings next to each other like this. Do you have a favorite drawing that I did? I really like how Gengar, Charizard, Tyrantrum, and Pikachu turned out. If you're new to my channel, feel free to check out my other videos. I started doing a Let's Play a while ago of a Pokemon game that was never released in America. Pokemon Trading Card Game 2. Or if you want to see me unbox some Pokemon trading cards, I've done that too.